Welcome to Rectory Ramblings for the third Sunday of Easter. I almost said Lent, but...
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I can't believe it's the third week of Easter. I feel like we just celebrated the
Triduum.
Thank you. Yes.
That's what happens when you don't sleep during finals
Yeah.
week. Yeah, you have been putting in some long hours.
Yeah.
So... Well, today, we get the road to Emmaus again.
Yeah, I think it was during the octave that we had the road to Emmaus the last time, and we talked a little bit about how Christ was made known to his brothers, his apostles, in the breaking of the bread. He's still known to us in that way today, and we can pray for that burning in our hearts when we experience or when we're at the breaking of the bread, when we're at the Mass, and experience Christ in the Eucharist. But one thing that I thought is that when they get to the place where they're going to be staying, it says that he gave them the impression that he was going to go on further. But they urged him, "Stay with us, for it is nearly evening and the day is almost over." And that kind of caught my attention because I'm like, what if they hadn't stopped him and he just kept walking? he was just going to go find somewhere else to break bread at, I guess. But
maybe you need to get his steps in.
Right. Yeah, he was checking his Apple Watch and he was 1,000 under his quota for the day. No, but I think it points to a really good example for us today is that Christ makes himself available to us each day, but it's really up to us to reach out to him, to invite him into our lives, into our house in this example, and into the various aspects of our life. And
what is that famous painting, with Jesus knocking on the door?
Oh, yeah.
But there's no doorknob on the outside.
Right.
And so, yes, Jesus comes to us. He never, leaves us alone, but we have to open the door.
Right. Yeah, that's
like
a really
you said,
good
he'll be with us, but we have to invite him to stay.
Right. That's a great example. He's waiting for us to make that invitation, even though he desires to be there more than we want him to be, and that's obviously what's best for us. He waits for us to ultimately make the decision. It's quite similar to the prodigal son. The father is waiting very patiently, eagerly waiting for his son to come home, but the son has to take the first couple steps.
He waits for him, but he doesn't go get him.
Right, exactly. So I thought that was a great message for us today. I know that we've talked about surrendering and keeping your eyes fixed on Christ, but a good foundation or first step in our prayer lives is just to invite him to even be a part of the prayer. When we start, ask the Holy Spirit also to be present because he's waiting for that invitation. And then through that, he can integrate himself into the different aspects of our life.
No, that's very true. A lot of traditions of prayer, we think of Ignatian prayer, one of the first steps is to invite the Holy Spirit into our hearts, into that space, as we begin that sacred time with our Lord, with God, with Jesus. Just to take that first part of our prayer and to quiet ourselves and to invite the Holy Spirit in.
Yeah, so if you haven't been doing that already, that's a good practice to observe in our prayer life. And then as we continue into a life of prayer and you spend some time in silence, it'd be a good thing then to also invite Jesus into the struggles that you're having in this time. Maybe you're feeling a little lazy, unmotivated, trapped away in the basement. It might be a good idea to, be like, "Hey, Jesus, I invite you into that spirit of isolation or loneliness or lack of motivation so that you can make it new, just like your resurrection that we just experienced."
So we celebrate the third Sunday of Easter to invite the Lord in, especially during prayer, to invite him into all aspects of our lives. That, he wants to be a part of our life, but he's not going to force his way. He's right there for us, but we have to invite him in.
Yeah, he's not on the other side of that door with a crowbar. I don't think that was in the image, but
no, it wasn't. So thank you for joining us for another episode.
Yeah, God bless you.
Yeah,
Have a blessed Sunday.
God bless. Just to clarify, I didn't lock him in the basement.
Yeah.
That was his choice.
But there's just no knob on my side of the door. He didn't lock the door. There's just no doorknob on that side.
I didn't penny the door. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So no, it's, I guess, a place we can get away from the distractions that I am and study.
Yeah.